Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's I, the Reluctant Gringo, back again from south of the border. Talk about a lot of things today. We got a lot going on. So it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving in the United States. It is the Wednesday before Thursday in Mexico. That's really how it goes. Well, they kind of celebrate Thanksgiving. Well, they offer it. We're going to get into that. It's going to be one of the first things we talk about is because people ask, like, when you move to Mexico, like, do you get to celebrate Thanksgiving? We're like, what do you do for Thanksgiving? Well, there's a few things you can do for Thanksgiving. One, you can buy your own turkey. Again, turkey's not exactly. You can buy sliced ham that's turkey ham, pavo, pierna de pavo, whatever. Um, that's a whole other story. Let's not even get into deli meats right now because it'll really upset you if you're an American. Yeah, you can. There's WalMarts here. We have WalMarts and Sam's Clubs and Costco's, and yeah, they bring in some turkeys. And but like I said yesterday, so it's just me and my wife, so we're not going to go buy a turkey just for ourselves, and she doesn't like turkey, so it's just going to buy a turkey just for myself. I mean, I don't mind making my wife cook all that food for me, but it's not really nice. So we have an alternative. I'll show you what my alternative is. It's one of my favorite places to go in Mexico. It's actually quite. I just love it there. Uh, it's a store. Don't get too excited. It's not like going to Disney World, but it's a store. Got my tea. I am still cold, really cold. So I got my scarf, got my vest, got my hat, got my headphones. But yeah, it's what's exciting is that I get to decorate. I'm usually a stickler. I'm usually the person. My wife usually wants to throw up all the Christmas decorations when October 1st hits. She starts singing Christmas carols and things like that. But I usually tell her, nope, not until Thanksgiving, because that used to be the rule in America, right? I guess it's kind of like a rule. Well, it was my rule, right? I was the jerk. It's my rule. But now, since really we're down here, it's everything's so melded together. It is Christmas everywhere. It's like Christmas is exploded everywhere down here. So there's decorations everywhere, just like they are in the United States now. But they've been up for a couple weeks now here. So I said, let's celebrate. Let's start decorating for Christmas. And so my son is coming, like I keep talking about, and but I got to decorate here, like behind me, while I'm in the studio. So I got I got a stocking. Little stocking cost me 10 pesos, which is about like 10 cents or something like that. It was like half a buck, 50 cents. Um, I like hats, so I got my Christmas hat, got my Santa hat. There's my Santa hat right there. I think 80 pesos, so like $2. It's nice. So I'll put it on sooner or later. Um, let's see here. Oh, because I didn't want my son to be left out when he's on, and I like making him do things that he doesn't like to do. I got him another hat. This is not a Santa hat. Well, it's a Santa hat, but it's like a Christmas tree. So there you go. Another 80 pesos. And I got a whole thing of lights string up behind me. Maybe a little Christmas tree. Maybe I'll get a little Christmas tree. That'll be fun. Decorate this place. The whole of the rest of the house, my wife's already gone bananas and everything's decorated. So, but yeah, what do we do for Thanksgiving food? Well, I'm gonna show you down here. Let's get this all set up. Transition over. Boom. All right. See, you've got a lot of tabs open. All right. I know it's in Spanish. Bear with me. All right. El sabor de Sanborns a tu casa, which means bring the flavor of Sanborns to your home. Sanborns is basically, it's a store down here. It's a chain store. It's probably the most famous chain store. There's Liverpool, which is a little higher end. Sanborns is like, I don't know. It's just a nice store. It's like a department store, but it's got little. It's like they're not huge. These stores, they're mid size, but they got candy stores. They got a candy counter in it, like homemade candy. They got toy section, electronic section, clothing section, makeup section, all this stuff. Right. This is not an advertisement for Sanborns, by the way. Even though this is the place. If you ask anybody down here who knows me, like, where's the Gringo like to go hang out? Sanborns. Why? They have a friggin' restaurant inside. It's like the diner of Mexico. I don't know how else to call it. So, and they love their drinking their coffee. So go down there, have some coffee and some. They have a whole bakery counter down there, pies, cakes, things like that. You order. As I drink my Earl Grey tea because I'm still sophisticated. Anyways, so yeah, this is the menu Dia de Gracias, or the menu for the Day of Thanks, or basically Thanksgiving. So if you're an American and you can go now, these stores are everywhere. I told my wife, if there's not a Sanborns in that area that you're at in Mexico, then there's something wrong. You're not in the real Mexico, right? As far as I'm concerned, I love going here. So let's see what the menu is. All right. So let's see how close this gets. All right. Uh, oh wow, I probably should have my wife up here to help me out. So perles de melon de apoto. So this is basically melon balls. Okay, start out with melon balls. Uh, soup, Jerez. All right, it's like a little chicken stock soup. Crema Washington. So croutons and a lote. Lote is crema in guano de lote. So that's a grano de lote. Elote is corn, so it's basically like a corn soup. You can choose one of those. Corn soups are good down here. And ensalada Waldorf. It's a Waldorf salad made famous in the United States, by the way. So they figured that's got to be what we. I've never had a Waldorf. I'm from New England, where Thanksgiving is a thing, like it's a real thing. It's a thing everywhere in America, but in New England, it's a whole other level. I ain't never had a Waldorf salad in my life. Basically, creamy apple slices. Great. And then pavo, horno, salsa de majes. I don't know. Tell her where. That's why I need my wife. Again, I live down here. I don't speak the language too well. So you can see the turkey. You get the mashed potatoes. You get the beans. Maybe some cranberry sauce next to it, and then some pie. Tartaleta de calabaza. They have really good pies in Simba, so you can get whatever you want. Usually the key lime is pretty good. So and then you get coffee and all that stuff. So you get to kind of choose this. So this is the menu. They haven't said how much it is. Yeah, they haven't. They don't put a price on it, but yeah, I'll probably go down there with the wife. That's where we'll eat and have some turkey, whatever else. So that's where I get my Thanksgiving turkey. So if you're an American, there's other restaurants that serve. There's full blown places that we've been to before. One in Mexico City was a full blown. And they tried. They tried. Not everything was the act, but it's good. As long as you get the turkey, the mashed potatoes, I think you kind of off the races right there and running. Um, Cranberry sauce is real hard to find here as well. So if you're into cranberry sauce, you might be out of luck. It's even at Walmart. I went to the Walmart and they had one can of cranberry sauce. This is like 2 years ago. I'm like, maybe it was last year. One can of cranberry sauce. That's it. One facing, one can. That's it. It's not a thing here. So you can find places, you can find restaurants, you can find different outlets that'll do it. You might have to, depending on where you are, you might pay through the nose. But outside of the major cities, which is where I am right now, outside of the major cities, you won't find this. So if you are an American living in Mexico and you decide that you want to live the rural Mexican life, which I know some expats, I've met some expats who do live in the rural Mexican life. They're not getting this unless, like I said, they're going to try and make it themselves. But again, this kind of meal is not her. Now, this what's cool about this. Let me see if I can go back. About this, this is all the rest of the menu items. Desayunos is breakfast, so they have really good breakfast. So that's the one egg in green sauce or tomatillo sauce, green verde, salsa verde, one in salsa rojo. They call that huevos divorciados, so divorced eggs. I'm not really sure who came up with that name. Anyways, so they do a menu all month long, all the way through Christmas, where you can order like massive amounts of meats and things like that. So this is where I love to eat, and this is where if I need some American food, an American fix, like they'll do a decent hamburger. Be honest with you, they'll do a decent hamburger here. Um, Decent steak, but their regular food, it's like this is like Mexico's diner, and they've been around forever. And they're owned by, I think they're owned by Carlos Slim, who's like one of the richest people in the world. He's like just like a couple steps below Elon Musk. He owns like everything down here. But so people ask like, how do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Mexico? You go to places like this, and you have some fun, and it's really good. Like I said, that's it. But for those of you who are celebrating Thanksgiving in the United States and you're cooking your own turkey, awesome. I hope it comes out well. Hope I seen those videos of people. I had a buddy back in Texas. He used to do a turkey fryer, and he was really good at it. So everybody would bring their turkeys over to him, or they would pay him money to pick up their own turkey, and then they would come pick up their. But I've seen those videos where people overfill the turkey fryer. Freaking hilarious. I have no empathy, or I have no compassion at that point. If you don't know what you're doing with fire and oil, you deserve what you get. As Vincent said in Pulp Fiction, if you play with matches, you get burned. So those videos, I'm waiting for some of those videos to come out this year because there's those videos every year. I love seeing those. Anyways, so let's get down to it. So the real big thing I wanted to talk to everybody up today was the besides what I'm doing for trying to celebrate the holidays down here, or how we celebrate the holidays down here, the box office. So let's talk about the box office. Disney good, Disney bad. Disney's yeah. So let's you know what? Let's start out. Let's start out with the good news before we get to the crap news. Okay, let's start out with the good. I like the good stuff. I like the good stuff. So let's take a look at the box office right now, and because I've seen both these from Gladiator 2, huge. Now, not too great domestic, 67 million. Okay, it opened the same week as Wicked. It'll probably pick up something this week. A huge international box office, so it's sitting at 232, 232 million, whereas Wicked sitting at 194 million. That's going to go up more. That's going to there's another there's a couple of articles that how will yeah, here we go. Moana 2 is going to blow everything away. So yeah, Gladiator 2 is probably the odd man out at this point with Moana 2 and Wicked. Maybe it's not because it's like the guy film for the week. I don't know. We might see. But mostly guy films don't do well Thanksgiving week. So I expected more internationally from Wicked, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Here we go. This one right here. This just broke a little while ago. They had the box office tracking. Moana 2. I haven't seen Moana 1. I know it's Lin-Manuel, whatever the dude is that did the fake history of what's the name? Hamilton. Whatever. Good for him. I'm not into that kind of revisionist history just because they want to rewrite history. But that's another conversation for another time. Can we get a Chi-Hu, which I guess is what The Rock usually sings in Moana. Now, Moana 2 easily hooking best Thanksgiving opening at 170 million plus. More records to be broken. Wicked 90 tracking at 92 million this week. And Gladiator another 39, 40 million plus at the box office. And of course, that's counting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they get these long, but 170 million. So that's impressive. So Disney looking to make some money again. They've had, you know what? I mean, they had a horrible beginning of the year. They kind of closed out strong. You know, they had with the Marvels. That was terrible. I don't know if they shared it. That was just Sony. Manimal was just Sony. But they really didn't have anything until, you know, Inside Out 2 hit, and that was like huge. So I think it's still the biggest in the that's still number one. I think that's still number one. Let's go take a look. Let's see here. Let's look at the worldwide. Yeah, that's still number one at 1 basically 1.7 billion. Deadpool Wolverine still sitting at 1.3, almost 1.4 billion. So Disney, they had a slow start, really bad start, and their TV shows are terrible. I'm sorry. Agatha All Along, The Acolyte. I mean, so they were getting their asses kicked for the better half of the year. And then all of a sudden, Inside Out 2, they said, take out the social agenda, take out the alternative lifestyle stuff, and just make them. They literally told that to the animators. Some animators quit and walked out because of it. But you know what? That's what they did. And guess what? Inside Out 2, 1.7 billion. Then you come Deadpool and Wolverine. You give people a movie that they want to see, that they've been telling you they want to see, with two characters played by two actors that everybody loves. 1.4 billion. Okay. Oh, like I said, if you saw my stream yesterday, Deadpool and Wolverine, Espanol. So maybe I'll throw that on later, fall asleep to that. It's just fun to listen to Deadpool and Wolverine yell at each other in Spanish. Anyways. So, you know, then now they get Moana 2. You know, we beat the shit out of Disney in the beginning of the year. YouTubers, even, you know, me, I picked on them. I beat him up, you know. South Park made fun of him, made fun of Kathleen Kennedy, all that. There was just nothing going on Disney Plus that anybody wanted to watch. Hey, you got to give it to them. They got to win here. They got a couple of wins. So Moana 2. So if that hits 170 million and that tracks it at 200, maybe 300 million, that's a win for that movie, right? It's a sequel. Sequels don't usually do better than the first, or they don't usually do. But even Inside Out 2 was a sequel. But normally sequels don't outperform the original. Normally, um, in quality and in box office, or in both. So that's great. Wicked, I expected more from Wicked, and I think that number is going to be more than 92 million. I just feel like Wicked is tracking slow and low right now. And maybe that's the case that, you know what? It found its audience that first week, and that was it. People went and saw it. Maybe some of those people will go back and re-see it because they're such fans. But I expected it to track higher than 100 million. I didn't expect it, to track that low. Not that 92, but it's weird. People like me, we talk about like millions of dollars like it's nothing. Like you only made $92 million. Okay, it sounds silly. It is silly sometimes. And Gladiator, I'm happy to see Gladiator still hanging in there. So we'll see these three films fight it out. And but Wicked might not have. I mean, with the marketing budget they put in there, and it might not. At first when I saw it, I was one of the believers that this thing could make top 5 in the box office. This thing could flirt with 800, 900 million. Might even flirt with $1 billion. There's a lot of us out there that thought this. With the way it sold out, it's not exactly tracking that $1 billion mark. I mean, it's like tempered expectations right now at this point. Not that it's not. Again, you see my review. I thought it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I didn't sing along. I didn't know the songs. I wouldn't sing along. By the way, The Rock came out with a thing goes, if you paid your ticket, sing in the theater. Shut up, Rock. I'll go see your movie. Don't tell people to sing in the theater. I hate that. Shut up. I'm there to see. It's like when people sing to a song in a radio in the car that I'm driving. I turn to them. I know this is mean. This is cruel. I'm like, listen, I didn't buy whatever, I didn't pay for whatever radio subscription or whatever. I didn't pay for my iTunes so I can listen to you sing. I want to listen to that person sing, I don't want to listen to a bunch of people sing in the theater. I want to hear the movie. So Rock, love you. Sorry, shut up with that stuff. Don't sing in the theaters. It's annoying. All right. Don't make any noise in the theater. That's why they have the thing. Turn off your phones, all that stuff. No singing. Even in Moana 2, no singing. And I don't think I'm going to get to see Moana 2. I think we talked about this, is that they're not releasing a subtitled version in Mexico. Well, they might. You know what? I think tonight might have been the one night that they showed one at like 9 o'clock at night, and there's no way I was making it. I'll have to see. I might have to go to other alternative sources to see Moana 2 to be able to review it. Because I don't like to review. I hear people say this on YouTube. I don't like to review things I haven't watched. I'm like, well, no shit. I just want to have some. Are there people out there that review things that they don't watch? How do you review something you don't watch? I would never review anything I haven't watched. I sat through every episode of The Acolyte, every episode of Agatha, even though I didn't want to, and I watched them to review them, to be honest about it, and say something good when I could say something good. I heard that the other day. It was one I forgot who it was on YouTube. It said, I don't review things I don't watch. Is there a group of people out there that review things that they don't watch? Because that would just be, I don't know, seems distrustful, dishonest, uncredible. I don't know. Anyways. So everything that I've ever reviewed in my life on this channel, I've actually watched. So, someone asked me the other day on a comment, they're like, because I said something was the worst MCU series. I called it, and they said, well, have you seen every MCU Marvel series? And yeah, I did. I have. I've seen every Marvel movie, every Marvel series. I've sat through them. I've watched them. Yep. So, guarantee I'll never review anything that I've never actually watched. So anyways, so big boxes. I don't know if anybody's out there who wants to go to the movies this coming weekend. It'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Go see it. Go have it. Let me know in the comment section what you're planning on seeing, if anything. Whether it's tomorrow, Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, whatever. That'd be interesting. Like I said, there's not much down here to see as far as movies. I'm waiting also for Nosferatu. That'll be a good one. So, as far as tracking goes, this is what's coming up. And this is the other interesting article I had. The Christmas box office, Sonic 3 tracking to open ahead of Lion King prequel Mufasa. Again, they have all these numbers and pre-sales and all that stuff and social media mentions, and they have all these algorithms that come up with the stuff. That would be a big deal. Now, Mufasa's not going to flop. I'm sorry. It's just not going to flop. The first one did gangbuster numbers. the first live action Lion King. Even though I'm not sure why do you call this live action? That's not a live lion. That's just CGI. So it's kind of misnomer. It's like it's live action. No, it's not. That's a computer. No lion looks like that or makes that face. I know I've seen lions. They don't do that. Sonic 3, of course. So as it stands now, Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is tracking to open to 55 million over the December 20 to 22nd weekend. And that's over like a month away. So I mean, this stuff can change. Compared to 50 million for Mufasa the Lion King. So that's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of difference. According to sources with access to data from leading research firm National Research Group. There's actually a team of people, there's actually a company out there that is paid to research what movie you're going to see in late December. And these people probably make way more money than I'm ever going to see in my life. All right. It would be an upset if Sonic succeeded in beating Mufasa, considering that the summer 2019 remake, The Lion King, opened to a stunning 191.8 million domestically, on its way to earning 1.7 billion globally. Like that film, Mufasa is a live action movie relying heavily on photorealistic imagery. So it's not live action. It's not live. It's computers. If it's got a computer in it, it ain't live. Anyways. So I'll see both probably. Both, but again, these are gonna Mufasa is gonna be another one for Disney. That's really why I pulled this up. Sonic 3 will do well. It'll do well. Jim Carrey, he very rarely gets on screen now. When he does, I think it's sort of an event for Generation Xers at least. People like me was like I loved it. I would love to see Jim Carrey on screen because I think he's hilarious. But it'll be another win for Disney. It'll be another win for Disney. And speaking of movies, I'm not sure about this one. This one's going to be on Paramount Plus. The Farrelly brothers, who are hilarious, they've made some of the funniest movies ever. Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, things like that. They are reuniting for Dear Santa ahead of Dumb and Dumber 30th anniversary. Basically, what this is a boy writes a letter to Santa, misspells Santa, and spells the word Satan. And so Jack Black plays Satan. And that's really, really kind of real. I'm like, I don't know if I can do Jack Black for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I just don't think I can. I know he's a nice guy, or he's supposedly a nice guy, but he's one of those celebrities who the shtick is old, and just the whole coming on social media and if you're gonna talk crap about politics and about half the country, I can't. I have a hard time. But it's only streaming, so we'll see. I have Paramount Plus. I think I got Paramount. Yeah, I have Paramount Plus. So maybe I'll give it a whirl just to see if I can stand it and do that. And then yeah, what else we got going on? Oh, The World of Real. Yes, this one. So Disney has a lot of good news right now. Disney's about to have a lot of bad news. All right, a lot of bad news. Marvel calls for more reshoots on Captain America: Brave New World after failed test screening. This is the third test screening they've had that has had horrible, horrible results. Horrible results. This movie might be DOA if they can't fix it. It's already a $500 million probably. If you factor in the marketing they're going to have to do and that they are doing right now, you're looking at a movie that's probably budgeted because the production budget's at $375. That's been reported. Then you add in about $100 million. Let's say $100 million just to be generous, but it's a Disney movie. It's a Marvel movie. It's probably more than $100 million for worldwide marketing. You're looking at a $500 million for this movie's budget, which means it's got to make between $1 billion and $1.5 billion to break even, depending on taxes and things like that and write-offs. I just don't think Sam Wilson as Captain America makes $1 billion. I don't think Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk and Thunderbolt Ross makes $1 billion. I just don't think there's the excitement for this movie to make $1 billion. I just don't see it online. I don't see it. I will see the film. I will sit and watch the film. I will pay money for a ticket, but I can't. I can't see it doing it. Now, it might surprise me. So let's see. It's only a few months away, but Marvel isn't done with the endless tinkering on Captain America: Brave New World. And of course, it used to be New World Order. Can't have that now. That's a bad thing to say. New World Order. Yes, Scooper Daniel Richmond via CBM comic book. is reporting that the third round of test screenings for the film recently took place, and once again, the reaction wasn't what Marvel was hoping for or had hoped for. More changes are being done on the film. It's not clear how extensive this new additional photography is and whether director Julius Ona is present. At that point in time, maybe the director, they just told the director, you know what, we'll figure it out from here. It's been years. We'll just figure. But there's got to be an end to all this, right? The film gets released a little over 2 months from now. Yeah, February, Black History Month. There you go. Recently, a rep close to the Brave New World production wrote to me and described the additional photography as standard in the business, especially on large films requiring pickup. But this is the third reshoots. They've reshot the whole film before. Yeah, they had to reshoot all the action scenes. Marvel got to see a rough cut of the film, but felt the action scenes were not big enough or satisfying enough. A poorly rated test screening didn't help. Word was the 3 major action sequences were being reshot from scratch. That's a big deal. That's a lot of money. A writer was hired by Marvel to pen additional scenes and material because obviously the movie didn't make any sense or needed something to make it make sense. So he's still on there with trying to get this thing written. So they're still writing scenes for it. Jesus. It originally wrapped filming in June 2023. Was set for a July 2024 opening. Wow, the budget is said to be nearing the $400 million mark, which spells major trouble for Marvel, who are banking on Mackey's Captain America to be one of the key characters in post MCU. I think they got to give up that hope. Nothing against Anthony Mackie, as he's had some other good roles that I've really liked him. Pain and Gain with The Rock and Marky Wahlberg. That was a good movie. I thought he did well in that. I thought he does good as Sam Wilson as the Falcon. No one wants to see him as Captain America. That's it. So bad news there for Disney, and compounded with, if you haven't seen it, the Snow White trailer came out, and it's now digital because it leaked online. But yeah, this movie's in trouble. I just don't care how many Snow White fans are out there. This movie's in trouble. We covered this last week, but then the trailer hit and it got mocked. They turned, by the way, if you were looking for that trailer online on YouTube, you couldn't find it. They actually blocked access to it. Disney had it just blocked. And then on their official site, they had comments blocked on Twitter. You could not comment. You couldn't leave a comment. That was just so that's how confident they are in the product. Now, granted, it was a leaked trailer and it wasn't digitized, so it didn't look the greatest. But still, even the one that's digitized didn't look the greatest. And then their star, they've had to throw into hiding again because she insulted half the country by calling everybody sick who voted for the Orange Man. And what are you going to do? I mean, I addressed this over a year ago. I said in a video, I said, if you want to be Disney, if you want to control your stars, just put in a clause. If you say or do anything that harms the marketing of your film, the profitability of your film that we deem necessary, you owe us $100 million. You want to be a Disney star? Sign that contract. I know some people said, "Oh, that's against freedom of speech." Well, listen, take it from a political science graduate student. The Constitution says Congress shall pass no law limiting your free speech. Doesn't say Disney can't. Doesn't say YouTube can't. Doesn't. Yeah. So Congress can't pass a law, but if private company says you work for me and you won't be, it's like I used to work for Apple. I couldn't be on social media calling Apple shit. I worked for them. I couldn't be out there trashing them. That's just part of the rules. And that's part of the rules you sign. And I signed it independently of losing my job. Therefore, I never got on, no matter what. So even during times when I'm like, oh, this isn't the best product I thought we could be selling, and it wasn't like the best phone I thought, or the best computer, I thought maybe we missed the ball on that or something like that. I couldn't be out there on social media trashing it. Same thing here. You want to fix it? Have them sign contracts. Be like, hey, you either want your ego, you either want the ability to call half the country sick, more than half the country, by the way, sick. Wish them no peace, which I think is just awesome that you wish people no peace. I want to wish 77 million people no peace. I mean, really, what kind of individual actually comes up with that statement? That one right there on your screen. That's why this is one movie I won't review and I won't go see. I won't. It's those things that make me go, okay, I'm not going to support it. Like, I don't mind people having their opinion. Hey, I don't like this or I don't like that, or I see things this way, that's not a problem. But when you're calling for no peace to 77 million people. You're a sick, and the person who's sick is this person. There's no way you can support this person. There's no way you should support this person. And I know she came out with an apology, but that wasn't her apology. That was Disney writing the apology, and she copying and pasting it into her Instagram stories. So they're in trouble because this film has gotten more negative press, more negative reaction. It looks terrible, by the way. The whole CGI dwarfs, which they should have just had regular dwarfs. Peter Dinklage. Okay, here we go. All right. Peter Dinklage, great in Game of Thrones, made a ton of money, did a bunch of roles as a dwarf. Came out, didn't want, and said, you can't have real life dwarfs in this movie. Made a big stink and forced Disney's hand, and Disney said, fine, we won't have dwarfs because it's a stereotype. I'm sure there are 7 actors of minimal height that would have loved to have had that paycheck, that Disney paycheck. I don't know, but we let this person control. Of course, this person is also a talking goat in Wicked. It's like, why didn't you get a real goat? Just get a real goat and do CGI and do AI voice, because there's no such thing, You can be a talking goat. You can be whatever character you were in Game of Thrones, but when it comes to other people who might have an opportunity, nope, no opportunity for you. So I thought that was really, really crappy. So now they get these CGI dwarfs in it that look terrible. You know what they remind me of? When I see them, they make me feel nauseous the same way as when I used to see Polar Express. Remember the movie with Tom Hanks, that animated movie Polar Express? Worst Christmas, one of the worst Christmas movies. Actually, for me, if you ask me to name the worst Christmas movie ever, it's Polar Express. Because when I see the faces of those kids and Tom Hanks, it just, something doesn't make sense in my brain. The pattern, the way they look, it just doesn't look, it makes, just can't watch it. So they decided to do that with these dwarfs and change the whole story around for modern audiences. So this is one movie I want to see. So Disney having an awesome end to 2024, building up a lot of goodwill. Beginning of 2025 does not look good because Snow White hits in March. Captain America, what is it? There with Sam Wilson, that hits. Captain America 4, that Brave New World, that hits in February. So I'm thinking they're not going to have a really good opening. So, but what are you going to do? That is, the writing was on the wall in that one for a long, long, long time. So, with that, all right. There we go. Awesome. All right, got the settings correct again. It's just me. I know. I always tell people, it's just me. There's no one behind me. There's no one in front of me. There's no one here helping me out with the computer and the engineering and all that stuff. So, yep, that's the box office. That is the box office. That's the current state of things going on. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I am gonna get some turkey. Just like I hope you get some people eat ham. I never understood that. Never understood ham. It's always but maybe some people, like I said, maybe people just prefer ham over turkey. Ham's an Easter thing for us. In my family, ham was always Easter. Always Easter. Don't know why. It's just Catholic Italian families on my mother's side, so that's what we ate. And on Christmas Eve, they made pizza. I guess that's an Italian thing. I guess, yeah. Hey, raviolis and pizza. That's what we had. But always, the turkey's always a good thing. So it's the race. It's less than, let's see, November 28th. So it is 23 days, 22 days till Christmas. That's it, folks. 22 days till Christmas. I can't wait. Like I said, in a couple weeks, I'll have both my kids here, back from school, back from college. One of them will go live with me. The other one will tell me to go to hell because he's not getting on camera. We'll be playing. I turn into a little kid because, again, when you have grown-up sons, you've done what you needed to do. They'll come to you for advice here and there and whatnot. You help them out. But for the most part, you just get to go play video games and horse around with them, and have that kind of fun. So that's I just can't wait. And then to have them here and just start a whole new year. Like I said, we built a house. We're building a house, and that should be ready at some point in time. And I'll be able to move into a room that's a little bit bigger, be able to design it and decorate it myself, so I'll have a better studio. I think that'll be a lot more fun and a lot more quieter. If you notice, like, if I always apologize to people if you notice that when you're in the middle of a city, especially a city like this where the, there's a lot of motorbikes. When you come to Mexico, there's a lot of motorbikes, a lot of like dirt bikes. Really, that's what they are. They're dirt bikes, but they're street worthy dirt bikes, street legal. That's what all the Uber drivers for like Uber Food or Uber Eats uses. So it could be 1 o'clock in the morning, and it sounds like you're having a dirt bike race outside, just down the street. It's really everything's very very loud, and so I always apologize. To, you'll hear that, and plus we live near a hospital, so every now and again a siren will go off, but can't get mad about that because someone might be on their final ride. So he's like, God bless, good luck. Um, but yeah, where we gonna hopefully move to is very very quiet. It's also on the other side where we are now. El Popo is, and if you don't know what El Popo is a large volcano that sits between Mexico City and Puebla, two very large cities, and it's active. It's constantly spitting ash up in the air, so everything has to be covered. So sometimes I'll wake up and there's like half an inch of ash over everything, everybody's car, all the streets, everything. You're literally out there. Everybody's just outside sweeping ash, and it makes you feel inside just like, oh, because it's kind of toxic. But what it is, it gets through everything. Like you can close your windows, close your doors, it's getting inside. I've literally taken a can of air and sprayed through the vents of my PlayStation 5 and just poof, it's like, wow. It's like a cloud of smoke just bursts out the back of it. And I'm like, that can't be good. So it gets in all electronics, but hopefully we'll be a little bit further away from El Popo, Popa Capitella, or I can't. Those words are just sometimes sometimes I get them right, sometimes I get them wrong. But yes, and sometimes it's spewing and spitting fire, and it's weird, man. Volcanoes are weird because there's weird stuff that goes on around volcanoes when they're active. I love the Y files. I love listening and watching to the Y files. So I'm not a conspiracy nut, but sometimes you see footage. Even the Mexican TV, Mexican news have footage of the volcano going off, and it's like, what's this UFO doing here? I'm like, oh crap, there's a lot of that, especially around Mexico City in this area. There's a lot of that stuff that goes on, a lot of that conspiracy stuff. I've never seen anything. I have plenty of people. I know plenty of people that have. I will tell you. So it's kind of fun to kind of. It's eerie. It's eerie though. At night, it's it's like you can hear it now. It's eerie. You can walk outside, and it's like an eerie quiet that can get broken by very loud noises at any point in time. But it's eerie quiet. It's just. Yeah. And I think that's why my wife refused to spend the night in the graveyard for Dia de los Muertos or Day of the Dead. I wanted to do the whole night. She's like, no way, not happening. Most people don't do that anymore. Sit beside the grave of their loved ones for the whole night. I didn't have any loved ones. I just wanted to go the whole night and see what the hell happened. But she said, no, thank you. Um, probably, she's probably the smart one in that choice. Probably the smart one in that choice. But yeah, well, this has been fun. It's been fun. I really do wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Check out rest of my videos. I've been putting up some fun stuff. I'm going to be putting up Jingle All the Way, little review recap of that for retro Christmas movie review. Got Gremlins up there. They demonetized Gremlins. They took ownership. I disputed it, but still watch it anyways. It's not really the money thing. It's like I just love having people watch it and make a comment on it. So whatever, it happens. Shit happens. The other thing is I got to figure out why they keep telling me my name is bad. They say gringo is a bad word. They keep telling me gringo is it's a bad word. It just means foreigner. That's all that means. I know some people they call it. Besides, that's what they call me. Not like I'm calling somebody else that. And if I was, it's fine. By the way, funny story, gringo. People say, well, it's Portuguese for foreigner. That's one interpretation. The other interpretation is when you ask the old timers around here, they're like, no, this is gringo is because of Americans. Okay. I had them explain it to me. They said, well, used to be in the 40s, 30s, 20s, whatever. American army, American soldiers would come down into Mexico. We didn't like how they were just kind of coming down and spending their money, taking our women, all that stuff, right? Kind of they kind of like started like not acting appropriately, disrespecting our culture, all that stuff. So they used to yell at the soldiers, but they didn't know how to. The soldiers wore green. Green, go. They used to point, green, go. This is what the old timers are telling me. Well, you say green, go fast enough, loud enough, many times enough, turns into gringo. Gringo, gringo, gringo. Green, go. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's what they told me. I thought it was fascinating, so I try not to wear too much green. But yeah, YouTube's like, oh, it's a bad word. That's not a bad word. There are plenty of other words I could use that were bad words. This is not a bad word. So I'm gonna write. I'm gonna keep writing them and trying to figure out, like, hey, how do I get this name off the list, whatever list that is, the list of bad words. That whenever I type in a description or type in something for my channel, say late, because whenever I put up an episode, this is Late Night with the Gringo, and it flags that word. Like I said something terrible. I'm like, but it's me. I'm the Gringo. I don't mind being. People call me that all the time. People say, hey, Gringo. You know, or Weta. Weta. If you come to Mexico and they call you Weta, it means blondie. It doesn't mean that you're blonde. It means that you're white. So if they're yelling, hey, Weta, come here. That means you. Hey, Weta. Or Wedo, and Weta, depending on male or female. But that's it. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening, hang out with my wife, and get ready for tomorrow. It'll be a blast. And wherever you are, again, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. I hope you and your family are well. Wish you the best. See you tomorrow night. Adios. Salud and hueva from south of the border.